was playing the intro. That intro.
The wrong one.
I'm on the wrong day. Hang on.
Hold on for the right intro, folks.
Hi, everybody.
We're trying to get all. There we go.
Day number 2.
Hi, guys. Welcome back.
What a start. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us, everybody, for day 2 of Parapalooza 2020.
Yeah, what a day we had yesterday.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a really good day today, too.
It absolutely
we're
is.
excited
Thank
about
you
this.
all yesterday, man. We had a lot of viewers and a lot of people interact.
A lot of
with
good
it. Thank
feedback.
you so much. It was a great day.
Yeah, we had Brian from ghostquest.net.
Yeah,
He was on.
doing some haunted locations,
Yep.
which was very cool, and he needed a lot more time. That's kind of what we've learned from this, from doing yesterday.
Yep.
So just, nobody has enough time.
Then we had Parker from the Ominous Hour podcast.
Yeah, talking about her podcast and crazy stuff that
Got a
that
little
she's
chills.
experienced. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was a great segment, too.
Then we had Vince Amico come on
Yes.
from AZ Piers, Ghost Hunters Outlet, sharing with us some all of the great gear that is available to those ghost hunter enthusiasts.
Yeah, and I got a lot of positive feedback from that yesterday too. People found the information very informative, and I think Vinny, if you listen, I think you're on. Yes, you are on. You're gonna get probably a lot of customers after that. I think so.
Yeah,
People were interested.
and again, he didn't have enough time to go through
I
everything.
know. That sucked. And then of course we had Wendy and Rebecca on with us yesterday morning.
Yes, we
Kind of
did.
kick things off.
And we also had Kelly from Kelly's Unexplained.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, some of the stuff she showed with us gave me some goosebumps.
Dude, that
It
footage was incredible. It really was.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that episode coming out on Travel Channel.
Yep, paranormal caught on camera.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
They still haven't called us back, but I'm gonna take her advice from yesterday. I'm gonna bug the shit out of them until they do call us
I
back.
guess that's
so
what you have to do. You got to let them know you're not going away.
I will. I'll definitely pursue it. So
And then we wrapped up
with
with
us.
with us.
Yeah.
Did we get? I think we covered everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we were talking about graveyards and apps, phone apps. And we were hoping to have a live ghost hunt going on, but Alicia wasn't able to get connection till
It was like 9:30 last night when she finally messaged me and said, "I got connection."
9:30 our time, so that would be
4 hours
12:30
later. Yeah,
12:30 East Coast.
We're asleep.
yeah. It was 4 hours after we ended.
Hopefully, she'll share some with us, so that would be cool.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So, do we want to get rolling right into today?
Let's
or
do
what?
it, yeah,
What are we
because
doing
time
here?
just seems to fly.
I know it goes by fast. So this morning we're going to bring back our local team here, and we're talking psychic mediums and sensitives.
Yes.
And I think for the people watching, I think if anybody does have these experiences, or you are or a medium or sensitive, or anybody who doesn't quite understand the gift that they've been given, hopefully the girls can answer some questions for you, and they'll tell you some of their own stories. So, without further ado, we're going to bring on Wendy. There's Wendy.
Welcome back, girls.
We've got Lindsay,
Hi, Lindsay.
and we got Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello, Rebecca.
Hello.
So we're gonna turn it over to you guys
All right.
and let you have at it.
what do we do?
We have to talk, okay? Becca, come on, baby. Let's do this.
I'm ready.
All right,
There
go
you
ahead,
go.
guys. Take it away.
You talked the talk yesterday, girl. You started out today.
Seriously, you want me to start it out?
Oh yeah. Go for it.
All right. Well, I believe my family comes from kind of a long line of sensitives. I wouldn't really say psychic mediums. We don't like directly communicate with the dead or anything like that, but we can definitely pick things up. I remember when I was young, my grandmother, before cell phones and caller IDs and everything, the phone would ring. She would always know who it was for and who was on the other line. Always, every time, never failed. So I think we've kind of picked that up along the way. I can definitely sense things mine is a little more along the lines of the living, unfortunately for me. I have actually probably a little different than, say, you, Wendy, who you try to kind of promote this in yourself and learn how to do this yourself. And mine, I've actually had to close myself off many, many times. It's not really something I enjoy. I don't like knowing specifics about people that I've just met. That's just not fair. I don't like it. So for me, I think it's just it's a little different experience for everyone, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm okay, this is weird. Am I echoing with you guys? Because I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm echoing on my end.
You had some feedback going on there.
Okay. So yeah, I actually always have, I guess you could say, growing up with my sisters, we always kind of had this, like, we always kind of knew like what the other was thinking or feeling. We always kind of had this telepathic type. If something was going on, and one sister, like right now, my younger sister, something's going on, I always seem to know. For some reason, I'll call her and she's like, I was just thinking of you, or, or I was about to call you and stuff like that. So I think I've always had a little bit of that, but I didn't know I had it. And when I started investigating, and I couldn't walk away from it. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I would always kind of stand and just say, we'd be in a building or something, and I was in a certain room, and everybody else would walk out, and I'm like, I keep getting drawn back in here, and they were gone, and I'm like by myself, just standing in a room going, this is, there's something here, there's something, and I could feel it. And that's when I first started out, and I'm like, okay, and kind of blew it off. And as we kept investigating, it would keep coming back. I would go to a place we would investigate, and again, another room or whatever area we were in, I kept getting drawn, like I couldn't walk away. So, I think the first time that I really, really got to know there was something that I could actually sense a spirit was we went to Colossal Cave, and we did an investigation there. We went into the cave. I didn't really get any feelings in there, and then we went into this one building where it was the main office. And I had no idea that the office was supposedly, they had activity in there. So we went in, and the other guys in Ghost, we were in there, and I went into one of the rooms, and one of the guys, his name's Kevin, he was sitting at a desk, and he was getting some, K2 hits, nothing really, big hits or anything, but he was getting some stuff. And so I go in, I go, hey, I'm going to come in. I feel like I need to come in here. So I went in, and I stood in front of the door on the other side of the desk. And I'm like, I need to stand here. So I'm standing there with the K2, and all of a sudden there was this overwhelming feeling like something was behind me. And I just felt like there was something there. And when it happened, I was like standing there going, what's going on? I could feel like I was getting lightheaded. I was, this is weird, what is going on? And then all of a sudden, it's like whatever it was came at me. Like it knew I was, it knew that I could feel it. And it just like, I can't say that it goes into me like it's trying to take over me, but it's like it's trying to say, hey, I know I'm here. Now you need to find a way to talk to me. And it was so overpowering that I'm like, I got to get out of here. And I'm like running out of the office, and I'm running to the door where I could get air. I'm like, this is crazy. And the guys are like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm like, I don't know. There was something there. Something was coming at me, and it wasn't good. It wasn't a good feeling. So I can't say that it's necessarily was a bad spirit or bad energy. Maybe it was just me because it was the first time, and maybe it was me just feeling like it scared me. But yeah, after I went out, I got air, and it took like a good, oh my gosh, it probably took a good 5-10 minutes to actually get myself back to feeling normal. So that was the first experience. And then after that, it just kept on. I just kept on going to investigations, and I always get drawn to an area. And 98% of the time is pretty right on. We always either get some kind of millimeter REM pod, SLS. We'd get something to confirm that, yeah, you were right. There is something here. We'd even get like EVPs and stuff, and it was proof that happened. So, but it's been doing it, and I'm trying to learn how to now focus and listen. So, yeah, and it was pretty cool because I really didn't know I had this ability, but it's an awesome feeling. It really is. It scares you, but with me, I go back. I'm like, do it again, So I've had people like, no, you need to walk away, and you need to just don't, but I don't want to. I want to keep doing it till I can actually get to the point where I want to be at. And it may sound crazy, but that's just how I feel about it, So pretty cool.
I just want to jump in real quick. We had a listener, Julia is her name, says, "Hi, I'm new here. I'm going through a difficult time in my marriage right now. Are things going to get better between us?" You might, just for our listeners' purposes, you might want to explain, when we talk about psychic mediums and sensitives, as far as the differences between them, because I don't know if either of you can answer a question like that, to be honest with you. So,
yeah, being completely honest, I cannot answer that question, not one bit. I have sensitivities towards the locations we go into. Obviously, mine is not something that can be turned on or off or set to a specific person like Julia. Mine, it comes and goes, and it's totally random, and I never know when it's going to hit.
Yeah, that's basically how I don't think I'm actually either the same way. I don't believe that I can really give someone an answer if they have problems going on like that. I'm more of feeling. I feel it. It's not like something I can. I can see certain things in my mind, but that's when I'm out investigating and I feel something. But as far as, I guess the difference between sensitives and mediums is a medium can actually see, I guess, what's going to happen.
right.
You know what I mean? That makes sense. Sensitives, as far as I go, I don't think I want to go to that point actually to learn to be a medium, or if that's something that you learn. I don't want to be able to see like Rebecca said, I don't want to actually know what's going on in people's lives and kind of know what's going to happen in the future, because that kind of scares me.
Right.
Yeah,
And
let's
right
don't
now.
get this confused with, and for our listeners, it's not like you can call in and say, I've got this problem or anything. It's not that kind of medium. It's not that kind of sensitivity. The sensitivity we're talking about as when we enter a room and we ask questions and get feedback. So it's not like we can answer your questions, which I'm so sorry. I wish we could give you a question. And if there's anybody watching that has any kind of idea, then that's fine. But don't confuse it with thinking you can ask us questions and we can answer your questions and stuff. I mean, I apologize. I wish we could, but this is a whole different kind of sensitivity and a whole different concept of
And there's a lot of them out there that you can find, and they can help you out with that for sure. There's a lot of them out there. I mean, you probably could. I'm not sure. I guess you could go online and you can find someone in your area, or even someone that you can call and talk to. Yeah, it's just that there is a difference. It really is, and I'm not not at that point, and I don't think I want to be.
Well, in your field of expertise on this, I think Mike asks a pretty good question, because he says that he's been told to leave rooms when he's in rooms with psychic mediums and sensitives because they're blocking.
He's blocking.
Or he's blocking the power or the,
energy
from coming through. So have you experienced that with any, certain people? Do you find some, I don't want to say cock blockers, some energy blockers?
Well, you got.
Just did, exactly.
That's just the word that came to mind, but energy blockers.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I think,
Parablockers.
yes, I think that's a real
Parablockers.
thing.
There you
I
go.
think people can definitely kind of
Parabarriers.
interfere a little bit with what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. So,
Energy
but, yeah.
suckers, I guess, right?
Parasuckers.
Oh, we do all these parasms.
All right, we don't want to digress.
We've been thinking all night about this show. So.
But yeah. So I don't know, Lindsay. What about you, my dear?
So I don't know. I think you guys are way more advanced than I am. I'm just barely opening myself up to this, but I always feel there was this house that we used to walk to when we walked to Circle K. We'd walk by it, and it was this adorable little 1910s house, cute house. And we'd always walk by with, the 3 friends in the neighborhood. We'd walk by and I'd always be like, "Oh, did you see the lady in the window?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, the window up there. Don't you see her?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "The blinds just moved. You didn't see her looking through the window?" And they're like, "No." Okay. So I didn't think anything of it. I was like 8. And then we'd be walking back and everybody would be like, "Oh, I saw the blinds move." I'm like, "Yeah, she just walked away. Like, you didn't see her?" "No, we just saw the blinds move." I was like, "Okay." So I didn't, just stuff like that would happen. I didn't really think much of it. I just figured my friends were crazy. They were lying to me. Who knows? So then I started this whole endeavor. And I don't know. It's just like Wendy says, you walk by a room and you kind of have to do a double take. You walk back and you're like, "Hold on, there's something. I have to go in here. Like I need to just go in here and sit, or I need to just listen, or I need to look."
Right.
Same kind of thing with the dolls. It's how we ended up with Julie. I mean, I'm sitting here digging through a pile of dolls, and we've already been to 2 other stores, so we've done this, and I just couldn't put her down. I just didn't know why. There was just some sort of connection there. I just needed to hold on to her.
Yeah.
So I think
It's
I'm.
like Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just going to say, it's kind of like something. It's like a pull into an area,
Mhm.
like something's pulling you, and you're like trying to walk away, but it's not going to let you.
Mm-mm. Nope. It knows that it can talk to you and it needs to come talk to you. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
But
a great thing.
I'm working on it. I'm taking my time, but I'm opening up slowly. And I think the more experiences and the more investigations we go on, the easier it's going to get. But it's hard, with working in the hospital. I've had so many patients that have passed away, and you feel it. You feel that energy just go through you. And sometimes you have to pretend you don't feel it because you don't want them sticking around. If they're going on their mission, you don't want them wandering around because they think they can talk to you. So it's really hard to try to close it off, but then not close it off.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm working
That
on
makes
that.
sense. Yeah. So yeah, it's something that I believe certain people have, and I think everybody. Where I really believe it, I believe everybody has it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you said, you have to choose if you want to continue to and try to grasp it and let it,
Grow and yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And
It's a skill. You have to work on your skill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Definitely.
So we have another interesting question from Christine. She says, "Can you sense emotion just by holding an object, like when the owner passes away tragically?"
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh yeah, sometimes you can do that. You can hold. I mean, like I did me and Kevin did a house investigation. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and we were in the house, and the guy's daughter had passed away. Like, I don't know. I think it was like a couple of 2 or 3 years ago. She was young, and she had he had kept one of her bunny rabbits that she had kept with her, and she had other things. He had other things of hers on a shelf, and I picked up the bunny. I'm like, oh yeah, there's something there. You know, you could just feel it, and it was just a feeling that went through me that was like, she's here with you. You know, she's here. And he started crying. It was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't make him cry.
I know that.
But I'm like, but she's here, and she's, you know, and it made him happy though. But yeah, you can, I mean, I do. I feel, you know, like you did at that one, Lindsay, that one place we went, and it was I think it was a Bible.
I was just gonna say that bar and that Bible that was from, what was it, guys? Like early 1900s, I think it was. And it was preachers. It was a woman preacher's whose Bible it was, and I guess she was.
It was old. It was. I thought he said it was from like the 1800s. I thought
Could have been.
It's an old
I
Bible.
honestly don't remember.
It was old for sure.
Yeah. But as soon as you touched it, it was this overwhelming of, I don't know if it was even sadness. It was just emotion. You could just feel that she's been with these women, that was, you know, with these battered women trying to get out of these relationships. And you could just feel that energy, that heaviness. It was cool.
Yeah, it was crazy because Lindsay said, "Hey, Wendy, when you come in, I want you to, you know, touch the Bible."
Right.
And I'm like, okay. And the crazy thing about it is I didn't get anything out of it. But the thing about that is I believe energy, or whatever you want to call it, chooses who they connect with. And I think it was Lindsay that the energy connected with, and I just didn't pick it up. But that's how it works. Sometimes you can pick up somebody else's, you know, feeling or whatever they get out of touching an object or whatever, and you may not feel it. But it's just they are attracted to your energy, and because they know you can feel it. You know what I mean? That makes sense too.
Right.
But,
Well, you know, Vinny yesterday talked about trigger objects that you guys tend to use. So does it kind of go along the same lines as what the question is? You know, if there's something. I think Vinny mentioned in one of his earlier stories about a guy who passed away who was a woodworker, and you would use like one of his tools or an object as a trigger object. So is that kind of the same thing? I mean,
I guess you could say that. I guess we are kind of like a trigger object or something like that, in a different type of way or whatever. Yeah, I think I guess we are trigger objects for them. I mean, we don't beep. I guess we could, you know, every time you feel something, we do. But yeah, I think so. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
if you're Darren, you wear bells, so you will make noises.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I don't know if it's when he feels stuff. I think that's just when he tries to scare us.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, he's been a good boy the last couple of times, I believe. So we'll see.
He really has been.
Yeah.
I haven't had to yell at him or anything.
Did you have a question, Tim? Or sorry.
Well, you're like a conduit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, instead of a trigger. Well,
conduit?
you're a trigger. You're a conduit.
Conduit, yeah.
It's. I guess you call it a trigger too, but it's a conduit. It's you're a tool to help go to that other side.
You hear that, lady?
Yeah.
Yep, definitely we are. And the best part when we're out is when one of us is feeling something in a specific area. I think Wendy even mentioned this. And then we start getting other equipment going off to kind of collaborate that it's legit something going on there.
Do you guys see the comments?
Huh?
Do you guys see the comments at all? I was just curious.
No, I don't.
Darren said, "Got to step up my game."
I'm in the other room. I'm gonna have to go. we'll get him on here in a minute.
I'm getting him a GoPro. I want this recorded because this is gonna be
Right,
hilarious. That's him
right.
sneaking up on people.
So Christine
it's
has
really not
another.
hilarious.
She has another interesting question that I think I know the answer, but I'm going to let you guys answer it. So her question is: do you find yourselves being drained by being around people who have a negative
Yes.
energy? Okay, negative. Okay.
Well, even a positive energy, because when we were at the antique store up in Prescott or Payson, and I had this energy, and he just would not let go. He was just right there, just behind me the whole night, just right there. I was exhausted. And it's not necessarily a good energy or a bad energy. They use your energy, and it's just, I was just exhausted.
Yeah, it's like it's like as far as spirits, yeah, it can drain you big time. As far as bad energy from people, I've had that. I've had it where someone is just, you can just feel that they're just negative. They're just users, whatever. And it can drain your whole body, and you're just like exhausted. You're like, I can't, it's just like I'm done. Don't even come around me, because every time you come around me, your energy is just not good. And yeah, so yeah, I picked up on people's energy, bad energy. But as far as spirits, yeah, spirits get you. They'll drain you. Yeah, and we went to the Donna jail up in New Mexico. The last one, well, the first time we went, there was the shadow man, they call him, and he's intense, and I don't think he means to be. But that was pretty crazy experience. And then the last time we went, he finally, the first time he had to back off. I was just like, felt like I was, when you get drunk and you have that really bad dizzy spinning, you're like, oh my God. And it was so bad that it felt like I was going to get sick because of the draining of the dizziness and all that. I had to make him back off. And then the second time he came at me, he was a little bit less aggressive, and he came to me, and the second time I actually felt him touch my hand, like he rubbed it, like trying to be a little more gentle. Because I said, the first time you did this, you came at me way too hard, way too fast. You need to slow down this time. And it was cool. He did slow down. And Keith was there. He felt, I think he said his arms were tingling and his hand was tingling. And yeah.
Yeah, we followed there and at the hotel as well, because you had that same experience at the hotel when we went into that back room. You almost fell over at one point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's just the energy when I get it. I don't know how the other girls get, how they feel. But they've seen me where I get so off balance that I'm about to fall over. And excuse me, I'm about to fall over, and it's the weirdest feeling. And I have to walk away, but I just don't let them scare me. So I always try to go back. And yeah, it's
and when
crazy.
you guys were in jail, do you think that you got overwhelmed so quickly because he was so excited he could finally communicate with somebody?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think he's like, oh my God, this one right here can feel me. There was another girl that went with us, and she felt him. She knew he was back there actually before I felt him, but she stopped and she didn't want to continue to go in there. She goes, I'm not doing it. I'm going to back off. And that was when Kevin was like, I'm going in. He goes, you guys want to go with me? And he had a spirit box. I go, I'll do it. So I went in, and when I did, I guess the energy, like, okay, I got her now, So, and when I went around the corner, I actually got emotional. I almost started crying. And then he hit me, and I was like hyperventilating. After that, I was exhausted, and we had to stop outside, and I was out there for like a good 10 minutes or so. I was like, that was pretty crazy. I think that the first episode that happened to me was crazy because it was the first time it ever happened to me. But this last one was intense.
Yeah.
Cool. Both of them. Yeah. So it was cool. All of it was just cool. So, and we even got EVPs on the last one that confirms that I think it called me can I say the B word?
How did it
So,
move
yeah.
you?
Say whatever you want to say.
Okay, I think he called me
You don't need to restrain yourself.
but yeah, and I don't think he meant it in a bad way, but I think I felt like he was irritated because he knew I could feel him, but I still couldn't hear him. So the EVP, that's I think you heard those words too, Joey, right? Remember the EVPs when we were at the Vinny's barbecue and he was playing those EVPs from the jail?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got, oh, and you too, Rebecca, honey, you were there. Yeah, so
Yeah, there were
Yeah,
some.
I heard him.
yeah, so,
Biatch.
That's exactly what it was.
That's what I
Yeah.
heard anyway.
yeah, no, but yeah, and it's pretty cool. So I love doing it. I love the feeling of it. I do, and it sounds crazy, but like I said yesterday, I'm kind of hoping I might get something that a good energy might attach to something, come home with me.
So on that same thought, Wendy, I had a question actually for all three of you girls. Since I'm kind of new at this myself, and I'm not sensitive by any stretch of the imagination.
Yes,
but
you are.
well, I'm sensitive in that way, but no. No. So on the few investigations, I've heard people say, don't antagonize them, don't, egg them on. But at the same time, I've heard people say, go ahead and touch me, go ahead, use my energy, go ahead and scratch me even. So, where's that fine line between wanting the interaction, like you said, Wendy, you hope an attachment comes home with you. Where is that fine line between you got to say, no, not going there, or yes, I want that interaction,
I think it's kind of very individual to each person. I think for myself, and I know probably the rest of the group, you have to be respectful. I mean, these were people. You have to have respect. That's why we don't antagonize, we don't call names, we don't judge. We're there just for the experience. So yeah, you have to have respect.
Yeah, and the respect, as far as drawing the line, I know I sound crazy probably to a lot of people, but I think there is no line with me right at this point, other than I don't want something evil. That's probably the line that I would draw right now as far as where I'm going. But I want to get scratched. I want to get pushed. I want to get whatever just to say, yeah, it happened to me now. You know what I mean? I mean, I believe it happens, but I want to experience. And I'm pretty open to the spirits, whatever they want to do, but nothing harmful, like in a bad, serious way. But I just want to experience. I mean, like Rebecca, she got scratched. I was jealous.
It was very undramatic. I thought it would be a lot bigger of a deal.
Yeah.
It really wasn't.
I was like, darn, I was the one who wanted to come here and get scratched, and you got it. So
well,
I know.
Maybe next time.
in the same area when we did the antique store, I don't remember who it was that said, go ahead, touch me, scratch me, whatever. And then Allison ended up getting scratched in the closet. So Lindsay was the instigator on that one, but to your point, Wendy, I've heard a lot of times people say, and whether you believe in the evil part of this, the demonic part of it, I that's everybody's own belief. But you hear stories that you have evil entities or demonic entities that play the good part. They play as a child, they play, to get you in. So isn't that kind of scary? Because if you don't know it first and you invite it in, you're saying you don't want anything evil or negative, but it could be posing as something good, and then you invite it in, and then you're kind of stuck with that negative entity.
Yeah, Wendy, I have one comment on that. Because when Allison, we were at the campground, and the little girl came forward, and Allison was talking to her, it was really the man that had killed her. And when she thought she was talking to the young girl, at night, we were back in the back of the RV, then Allison had serious scratches, not just a scratch, serious scratches. they were bleeding. We have pictures. So yeah, they can come across, they can use the other people to come across to make you think it's them. But in just my personal opinion, be careful what you ask for. Be careful to say, hurt me, touch me, push me. Now, let me know you're here is about as far as you should, I would go. Because once you invite them in and give them permission, they can go a lot further.
Oh yeah, and you know,
And
to answer
that's
that,
something you don't want to. I mean, scratch me.
Yeah.
That's a fine line, but you don't want them to come too far in.
I believe, and this is just me, and I probably are just a different type of person when it's that. I mean, I don't know, but I think even if it was something that was evil or bad, I really, because I've gone through something in my life when I was younger that I used my faith to beat it. So
We're protected. You're right.
Yeah.
You're protected.
and I believe my faith is so strong that's why I think I'm a little more brave to say, yeah, I want to get scratched. I want to be pushed. I want to, because I even if I did, I think, I don't think I would have the attachment. I don't think I would get an attachment, but I think that I could and would like to experience what it can show me. But
You're right,
I think
you're
my
right.
faith is so strong that I don't
I
think,
agree.
I mean, that's just it. Because like I said, when I was younger, I believe in attachment. I really believe it. And I know it, sounds crazy, but that's why I do believe in possessions and things like that, because I had something that was messing with my mind big time. I mean, big time, and it was scary. And I fought it with my faith. It took 2-3 months, but I stood strong and I beat it. So
Yeah, if you're spiritually faithful and strong like that, then it's okay. But not everybody is like that.
right, exactly. I wouldn't recommend it because that's just
you wouldn't
me.
recommend it, but you're right. You're right. And I'm not afraid. I go anywhere.
me.
Like when we went to the graveyard, I went off on my own, and I am not afraid. God he's protected me. I have faith. I'm covered. I'm protected.
Yeah.
But not everybody is like that. So make sure you're that way, or even
Yeah.
prepare before you do one of these
Look,
things.
excuse my pun, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick here.
I like it.
So, Joey and I had an in-depth conversation a long time ago, and he brought up a good point. We give things like, I'll bring up the cross. In your belief, we give things those power. Okay, so if people don't have the faith in, let's say, the same faith as me or you or somebody else, does that mean they can't avoid the negativity? I mean, we can just say to a spirit, hey, you're not welcome to come home with me. You're not welcome to touch me. You're not welcome to attach to me. If you don't have faith, you can still do the same thing. You can still control. You have control over it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Keith.
But I mean, I would say maybe if you're weak-minded, or you have maybe an addictive personality or something like that, you could potentially let something.
You got to be
in.
spiritual.
I mean,
Especially, I think that if you're looking for it and you don't have that strong personality saying, no, you're not going to come home with me, you're not going to attach to me, like you do want it, but you're not as strong and to the point, you could absolutely have something come home with you.
Oh yeah. I mean,
see, I'm not Christian, so when
but even still,
the cross
Joey,
doesn't work for me, and none of that stuff works for me because I don't give it the power.
And that's okay.
All right. So, but what I give power to does work for me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
And Joey, when you say you're not coming home with me, it doesn't
Right.
matter if you have a cross or not.
I think whatever you're giving the power to will help you.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I believe it's a strong mind thing too. You can't just go in with this weak mind about something. You have to be strong minded. I mean, I'm a very strong minded person. I when it comes to anything, I set my mind to it. And I'm going to make sure it gets done. Period. And I think that's another part of being an investigator. You can't go in there with a weak mind, weak heart, weak soul, whatever. You got to be strong enough to go in and go, okay, I'm going in and now let's get this done. But if you go in and you're weak, they can feel it. They can they can feed off of that. I mean, there's some people that say no, they can't, but yes, they can. I'm sorry, but
We've actually had to sage ourselves after leaving places. I mean,
Wendy, that was a great point because that kind of segues into the next question we had for Mike. I want to get, we have some more questions coming in, so I want to kind of get to those. Mike says, do spirits get angry? Do they get angry at you because you know they can tell that you sense them? Do they get angry about that? Does that bother them? Do you ever feel that?
Sometimes,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it does.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know if I've really had that. Well, maybe it has been. Maybe that's why they come at me sometimes so strong, because it does irritate them. But it could be the opposite. It could be they come at you so strong because they're like, oh my God, somebody can sit to me. Somebody knows I'm here. This is awesome, So,
No,
yeah, I
they
think it
do
go either
both.
way. No.
Yeah, Wendy,
But
your
that's
sister Carolyn seems to be pretty sensitive too.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't even know them.
And so
Really?
it takes me to the episode at the jail where she was using the ghost tube and it came across with that crazy voice that said, "Leave me alone." So it sounds like whatever spirit she connected with wasn't really happy that she was trying to communicate with it. So
She was using the spirit box. She was in one of the cells, and she was sitting there, and then the voice came through. It's a wicked, creepy voice too. I've never heard one of those things. And actually, I was standing by Keith because I'm like looking at their, the videos on the TV, and we both looked at each other like, "Oh my God, what was that?" Scared me. Scared me. I was like, that was creepy. But we found out it was on her ghost box, and that was creepy.
That was crazy because me and Joey were walking down the stairs and we were like, where did everybody go?
We had to get where the action was.
I know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but she's a sensitive too. We did a house investigation. Okay, let me explain this. And she'll be watching this probably later. But she don't cry. I mean, I cry, I'm happy, I cry when I'm sad, I cry when I'm mad. So I have emotions, believe it or not. People say you got a black heart. Well, I still have feelings, but she don't cry really very often. It's hard to get her to cry or her emotions or anything. Well, we did this private investigation, and I was in the living room, and she was like looking down the hallway, and I walked around, and she's like crying. I'm like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Are you okay?" She goes, "I just saw a spirit poke its head out of that bedroom door." She goes, "And I don't know what happened, but I just started crying." And I was like, "Oh my God, if my sister crying, that's legit." She actually saw something. So, but yeah, but I'm all doing all the talking. Come on, guys.
Well, I want to read something that Vinny, Joe, you want to read that what Vinny posted?
Well, I was just going to say, Vinny, I mean, we'd love to have Pam come on, if you could send her the link, if she would just pop in and say hi, because we've heard Pam tell some pretty cool experiences. And
I'm going to walk in and let Darren say, "Hey, while you guys are doing that," if I can get him on.
right.
Because Vinny said Pam's is sensitive, but she is also affected by very high EM fields and will get headaches with continued exposure. And he says, "How about you guys?"
There's the Shadow Man.
There he is.
Hey, the Shadow Man.
This is Darren. He's our other investigator, and my boyfriend of 14 years. Oh my
I'm
God.
so sorry.
Seems like I don't know.
Did
Seems
you say
seems
sorry?
like 100 years.
Bless your heart.
That's funny.
But anyhow, I thought I'd let him say hi.
Hey guys.
Yeah, so,
Hi,
and
Darren.
he's watching his Broncos game right now. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
That's hockey.
say bye.
Is that High Alive? No, hockey. Is that what you said it was?
That's funny.
I don't watch hockey.
But he is watching in the other room, so.
Soccer.
But,
Yeah, baseball, hockey.
And to go back to Vinny's question, I've never really had that experience yet to where the EMF has affected me. So I don't know if it would or not. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, I say definitely high EMF does affect me. That's what gives me that kind of lightheaded, tippy over type feeling. It doesn't necessarily give me headaches, but for sure like a buzzing in the head, uncomfortable feeling with real high EM for too long, for sure.
That like fuzzy, foggy kind of feeling.
Yeah, kind of like just a head buzz type thing, like lightheaded and just kind of not right. It's not
I
a good
don't know if
feeling.
it ever has affected me. I don't really know about that.
Same either.
I'm not for sure if it does affect me or.
Can you read that question?
Can you read
Haven't done
Tim?
it yet. Don't know.
I can read it.
We have
Maybe.
another
Okay.
question from Christine, but I can't read it very
It's
well.
just talk about the.
No, the one about
No,
the-
I
I'm
want.
sorry.
Yeah.
Question.
Can you see it, Tim, to read it? I can
Yeah, I
read
was
it.
wondering. I keep feeling emotions that other experience without them telling me. Is that considered sensitive or empathetic? Is there a difference between the two?
empathic.
Empathic.
So
I'm
sensitive
sorry,
or
it's very
empathic.
small.
Is it
That's
when
hard to
she
read.
walks in a room? Is it when she's around people?
It just says I keep feeling emotions that others experience without them telling me. So she gets the emotions without them saying anything.
Yeah. So is that being sensitive or
Yes.
I
empathic?
think
Definitely,
empathic.
that's being
That's
sensitive.
But I
definitely.
think it's an empathic too. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's kind of both.
both actually. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it would be a little bit of both. But
Christine, you need to join a team.
I know.
Definitely.
If you're in Arizona, you can pick any of us.
And then Stephen says, talk about the spirit that can come home with
Well, he's
you.
telling somebody specifically. He's telling
Oh, tell him Becky.
Becky.
Oh, yeah.
Becky's got a great
We-
story
we,
about
we
that.
all do, I think. Lindsay has a great story about that.
I guess it kind of goes back to what we were talking about a few minutes ago. Things coming home with us, where do we draw the line type of thing. I'm always pretty clear when I leave locations, that it can't come home with me. I was in Chloride a couple years back doing an investigation at the old jailhouse. It's just like a 2-cell little thing, and getting great responses with the man that was in there. Time flew by so quickly. I was in there for quite a few hours. It felt like 30 minutes, maybe. Tons of responses. Everything was going great. I'm super excited about the whole investigation. Drove home that night without saying, I did tell the man, there's no reason for him to stay in the jail. He can leave. I did not say you cannot leave with me. So the next few nights, well, the next few days in general, I had strange little things happening. Like I knew I would put something somewhere and it wouldn't be there. A couple days later, it'd show up in some complete random spot. I was hearing weird noises, like kind of weird scratchy noises in the bathroom. So but they were such small little things. I kept saying, oh, well, maybe I spaced it. Maybe it's, the cat or whatever. By probably about a week into this going on, I'm laying in bed and I hear a man from my bedroom door say, hey, clear as anything. Woke me up. I jump up and I'm like, okay, I must have been like dreaming, like something in my sleep woke me up saying, hey, and so it was a dream. So I lay back down, not even asleep this time, and I hear, hey, again. I'm like, oh, crap. So I get up, I check on my son. He's totally asleep, nothing anywhere. Third time, lay down, and I hear, hey, one last time. Got my pillow and my blanket, went downstairs and slept on the couch for the rest of the night. So the next day I realized definitely something came home with me. He did come home with me. And I kind of explained that wasn't really what I meant, that he didn't have to stay in the jail. He's served his time. But I said, you just can't stay here with me either. And over the next day or two, all activity stopped, never heard from him again.
Wow.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, you're like, when I said you didn't have to stay here, I didn't have to leave.
I know. And usually I am clear on my intentions when I leave. You cannot come with me. But this time I was excited. It was very interactive with him, and I just didn't think about it.
Yeah, it's hard though when you start having those things, and you have to remember, right? I usually do it right when we sit in the car, and I'm like, thank you for, having us, and thank you for interacting with us, and you guys got to stay here. We're going to go home.
Yeah.
And
Yep,
you got to
you
get in that
have to.
routine.
So we've got about 5 minutes left. So we want to be able to have time to transition into the next segment. But Wendy, if you could, the little boy that's creeping over your shoulder there,
That's the crying boy.
can you tell us that story?
Yeah, I was at an antique store the other week ago or whatever, and with my sister. I was up in Phoenix, and we went to this antique store. So anyhow, we're walking around. I'm getting ready to leave, and she's like, "Oh, we should have been looking up. There's all kinds of stuff." And I go, I go, yeah, I usually look up. So I started looking up and I turned around and he's staring at me. I was like, oh my God. And my sister's like, what? I go, that picture. And she goes, yeah. And I go, do you know who that is? And she goes, no, I have no idea. And I go, it's the crying boy. And she's like, oh, the crying, I heard about him. And I go, yeah. So I ended up going over to and have somebody, because it was way up on the wall. And I go, hey, I want to see how much it was. Well, I guess he'd been sitting up there for quite a while because they had a little pink tag on it and it was fading. It was $50 for it. And there was dust all over the top of it. And anyhow, I got it. I was like, I got to have it. 'Cause they just was telling me. I was like, oh my God, this is great. And it's needlepoint. So that was kind of cool too. It's a needlepoint picture. Yeah. So that's the crying boy is, I probably don't have time to tell you the story, but you can look him up. Basically, he burns houses down. And
Darren says, get him out of the house.
yeah. So that's my crying boy. He's right. I'm trying to get him in there.
That's awesome. That's very
Yeah.
cool.
Super awesome.
I love it.
I have my girls.
Yep.
Yeah, the
There they are.
Yeah.
Hi, Julie.
I'm just getting ready for our
There's a
session
hall.
later.
Awesome.
Oh, that's
That's gonna be
cool.
fun.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
I'm excited.
All righty. Well, we got Wendy from Ghost, Rebecca from AZ Piers. Rebecca has her own two shadow form, right?
Yes.
Is your own, and then
Yep.
Lindsay from Sud. So we're all one big happy family here.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you guys for jumping on this.
Thank you
segment.
guys so much.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I
I
was
love
hoping to
all
go
you
over
guys.
dreams, but
we maybe if we do a like a after hours
an after
thing tonight.
after show thing.
Sure.
Will you guys be available later after 5 o'clock if we decide to do like a quick after hours thing?
I wish, but I'm working until I probably won't be home until 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to make that money.
If
Joey has
anything
some-
cancels, if I get anything cancels, then yeah, I'll let you guys know. But
Okay.
that would be
Let us
great.
know.
But, yeah, I will. But don't look too good right now.
All righty.
And also, please join in on Tuesday when we'll be talking more. We'll have somebody on the show with us that is clairvoyant
Yes.
medium.
Yep.
You'll be really interested. It's my stepfather, and it's going to be a great show. We'll advertise more about it, but it's right along the lines that we're talking about right here. And if you want to learn more about this, stick with that show on Tuesday after the beer challenge.
It'll be a long show.
Yes, that'll be on.
It'll be
the-
a long show, but it could be worth it.
Yeah, and that'll be on The Truth About Beer and the
Uh-huh.
Unexplained. Yeah, or huh?
All right, guys, we're gonna get ready for our next segment.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank you so
Thank
much.
you guys for having us.
Welcome to day 2 of
Bye.
Parapalooza 2020.
Peace.
We'll see you guys.
So much.